Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you about pattern storage and organization. I think after fabric, organizing and finding and storing your patterns is probably the second highest thing on the list that causes the most frustration. Especially if you're a Pixie Fair customer and you've downloaded every Freebie Friday pattern, you have a bunch of patterns that you have to remember where they are, which ones you have, how to store them, and how to find them so that you're not continually reprinting the same pattern pieces over and over. For me personally, I do that all the time. I have so much going on and I know that I'm looking for a pattern piece, maybe it's the basic t-shirt, and instead of finding it easily in my storage, I go back to my computer and I reprint out the pattern pieces. So I'm gonna go over some tips and tricks for organizing and storing patterns that should help us both. And then moving forward, we'll have a quick and easy way to find the patterns that we're looking for right when we need them, and the pattern pieces that we've already printed out are stored in a place that we can easily find them every time. All right, so we have two types of issues when it comes to storing patterns. The first would be the digital part of the pattern delivery. So when you're a Pixie Fair customer and you're buying PDF patterns, or even if you're just purchasing patterns on Etsy, there's a whole bunch that goes into storing and organizing your PDFs on your computer. So you just need to understand the site that you're buying from, how it works, how you can go back and find files you've already purchased to re-download, or if you simply just need to come up with a system to organize your purchases. So if a site requires you to have information like order numbers with the titles that you've purchased so that you can quickly and easily find those if you go back to that website. If it's all on your computer, then it comes down to just your file storage organization. Do you create folders on your computer, or do you create them in the cloud type service like iCloud or Dropbox so that you can access those files from anywhere on any device, not just your desktop computer? So those are some things to think through when you're setting up your PDF storage. When it comes to storing paper patterns, you have a few things to consider. First would be the type of pattern. If you have a purchase pattern from a fabric store that's folded into like a 5x7 envelope, then you'll need different storage for that kind of pattern than you would for a printed PDF pattern. PDF patterns print out 8.5x11 standard paper size. So this works really great for any type of storage that's set up for filing or storing regular letter size paper. So you can use any filing structure. You can have desktop filing with hanging file folders and then divided files inside those that are labeled for the different patterns that you have. And if you want to cut out your pieces and print out only the text-only instructions, then you can keep that stuff inside a desktop filing system like that. You could choose to have patterns that you're currently working on up on your sewing table in a box like that, so it's quick and easy access. If you have a large catalog of patterns, you might want to store those in an actual filing cabinet that provides a lot more storage. So when you pull that open, you'll see that you have a variety of folders that are hanging, and then inside those you can either just choose how you want to store those patterns, alphabetically, or you can have them grouped together by types of doll and then it's alphabetical, or if it's just by garment and you have pants in one section, dresses in one section, something like that. So there's different ways to do it. The best tip I have is to clearly label everything and force yourself to put things away when you're done. That's probably my biggest mistake is I'm doing things quick, I scoop it all up, and the next thing you know, I have big piles, which I'm sure you saw in my earlier video, where I'll stack stuff together and I think, okay, I'll come back to that and I'll sort it and put it back later. And then of course I don't. And then I'm looking for those pattern pieces again and I'm frustrated and I can't find them and I'm reprinting them. So printing pattern pieces is not that much of a waste of ink and paper, but still it is, and it could save you a lot of time and a lot of trouble if things are clearly organized and put away when they need to be found. And here's a closer look again at my wall filing unit. I have this for patterns that I'm currently in process working on. And so if it's something that I'm designing and I have some mock-ups or some first versions of pattern pieces in those folders, sometimes I even have enough space in there to have cutout pieces that can be flat in a folder. And those are all stored in this unit. And I'll switch them out based on what I'm working on, but then that way it's in front of me. And if I have more than one project going at a time, it's easy for me to kind of just look through there and see where I'm at and then remember, oh yeah, I forgot I was working on this one. So then I can, keep them close to me and close to the top of my mind and my priorities. Another good way to store printed PDF patterns is in a binder. So if you have a good size binder, maybe like a 3-inch binder and a lot of clear sheet protectors, you can use that to store your patterns. Get dividers, maybe alphabetical dividers, and then you just start sliding your whole entire printed pattern in one sheet protector. And then you can have your choice of how you would organize them. If it's A and it's by like the first name or by the brand, or by the garment itself. So you'll just have to decide, and then you can build yourself like a table of contents at the beginning of that binder that helps you clearly remember where you filed those types of patterns in that binder. Because frequently for myself, I'll set something up like this, and then when I'm going back and I'm like, where is the jeans pattern? Is it under pants? Is it under jeans? Is it under Liberty Jane? I don't know what I'm looking for. So those types of things are just some good tips for when you set up your system like that, to just have a first page that shows you and lays it out exactly. And then another tip for that, if they're Pixie Fair patterns, it's a good place to just have a line on that keeps track of your order number. And then that way, if for any reason you need to go back to the website in your customer account and you want to print that pattern out again, you could look that up by order number pretty quickly, as long as you keep track of that part. Another great tool that I found, and this isn't for actually storing and organizing your patterns, but it's for creating a good flow and a plan for what you want to do. So this is a really cute planner designed specifically for sewing. I came across this from the Colette site, and they have their own brand of patterns for people, but they have this planner which is pretty basic and can be filled in for any types of projects that you want to work on. So as I flip through it here, you can see that there is a nice layout for the pattern that you want to work on, the supplies that you need, and then any notes that you need to make about what you want to work on. And then on the opposite page, you can even put swatches or draw out some sort of sketch or make more notes. So it's a great organization tool. And this one has a lot of pages in it. It's divided by season, so you have summer projects, winter projects, and stuff like that. So say you want to plan ahead for Christmas, but it's July. So you could pop open something that you know that you want to do later in the year and fill it in and keep it in that section of a planner like this. So this is a great tool. You could either create something like this as your own PDF and print it out and just use it with the system that you have, or you can check it out on their website. All right, guys, I hope that these tips and tricks for storing and organizing your patterns have helped you figure out a way to really be productive. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make is not forcing ourselves to have good habits, which would be putting things away when we're done. And this is huge for me. I am horrible at this. So usually my sewing room is a mess and I stack things in piles and I waste a bunch of time when I want to start a project just trying to find the things that I'm looking for, especially pattern pieces or that specific elastic or a zipper or something like that. So if you can take anything away from this video, it would be that. Just really force yourself to have good habits and get things organized, and then we can all be as productive as possible.